Hello, welcome back to our third part. And in this part, we're going to look at a number of topics on how to use knowledge graphs, how to build applications around knowledge graphs. So for example, we look at how to connect documents, natural language documents with knowledge graphs. We look a bit more into this format for embedding RDF data into web pages, and then look at some of the applications like Facebook's Open Graph Protocol and Google's Knowledge Graph. If you remember what I talked about in the very first week, I motivated the idea of a knowledge worker that needs to have some support, some kind of intelligent system support for knowledge management. The idea or the typical problem is that nowadays you have way too much data, way too much information available for any human to comprehend at the same amount of time. If you think about all kinds of research publication, technical documents that you need for working on a specific task, this is impossible for a human to gain an overview on manually. So one of the things you can do with intelligent systems is to have these knowledge management approaches where you use tools to extract and connect knowledge. So now we've spent a couple of weeks on how to represent the knowledge in form of a knowledge graph. You've seen that there is a lot of knowledge available for building systems on the linked Open Data Cloud. And now one of the questions when you work with natural language documents is how can you connect these two to make a knowledge base that can connect documents and graph data to be able to answer questions. And very early on, also in the first week, I showed you what the challenges are, because when you have natural language documents, you have some kind of ambiguity in there. If you just look at the word tree, you could match it to these two different URIs. There's a URI about the tree, the data structure, and there is a tree, the botanical tree. So now you can imagine what happens when you match the tree in a document to the wrong one. Then you start making all kinds of automated processing and conclusions, but they don't make any sense because you connected the wrong tree to the document here. So this is a hard problem. Whenever you deal with natural language, you have all of these ambiguities and things will go wrong. The techniques for working with natural language have improved, but there is still a lot of challenges. And whenever something goes wrong in an entertaining way, this is what you see coming up on social media. Like this one, I also showed you somebody asking Siri, what is a group of moose? Is it a flock? Is it a clouder? And it said, obviously it's Jared Padalecki. So here, most likely, because moose was, I think, a role in a TV series or something like this, it linked the natural language text here to the wrong entry in the knowledge graph, and you got this entertaining answer. So they fixed this quickly afterwards, but for a while, that was one of the entertaining mistakes that you could see online. So you can see what you need. You need some kind of way to connect natural language documents with knowledge graphs. And there are a number of tools and approaches out there. And the first one that we're going to try out is one that has a long history as a commercial cloud service. So this, I also briefly mentioned in the first lecture. Originally, this wasn't called Refinitiv. This was known as OpenCalais and was published by Thomson Reuters, the big international news agency. And just a bit more than a year ago, this was spun out into its own company and relabeled as Refinitiv Intelligent Tagging. So have a look at this quick commercial. If you go to the Refinitiv tagging page, you can look at this quick overview web page, just 2 minutes, and then try out task number 6 on the worksheet on trying out the online demo. And understanding what it's doing with a natural language document. And as always, post your insights on the Moodle forum, and then I'll see you back in the next lecture part. Have fun.